I
to this
appreciate
conversation.
this conversation with us today because this has shed a light on a bunch of really uncomfortable topics and maybe some self reflection that maybe some of us are not paying as close attention to ways that we can live better. And I love your choose the best possible situation in any circumstance approach because if we do pay attention, I mean, it is our health that's on the line. And I don't think that we're gonna randomly get healthier just by drifting aimlessly. I think our
Absolutely.
world with all of the chemicals and all of the airborne contaminants and just the pollution that we have, I don't think it's getting better on its own. I think it's gonna take everybody doing their own little part to try to make a difference, even in your own little world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you so much on that. And I think there's so much to be said for being conscious about our choices in the day to day. Sometimes people live so unconsciously, lacking deliberateness about improvement. Because if you are not deliberate about improvement, entropy, which is the fact that everything just goes, kind of dwindles to its lowest possible common denominator,
Mhm.
is the definite thing that is going to happen, right? So that's why when people think about aging in many situations, they think about aging as a process of decline because they just think that, okay, well, I'm going to keep doing the same thing that I used to do in my 20s. And,
And in
and
my 60s, it will still respond the same.
exactly. And the thing, but that's what happens. Rather than realizing that, okay, the thing that I did in my 20s was actually not the thing that's going to keep me at the level of health that I want to be at in my 60s. Therefore, if I want a different level of health that is improving as opposed to declining, what do I need to do differently? And I actually had this conversation with myself actually quite a few years back. I got into bodybuilding like seriously because I was like, you know what? I actually want to be able to sit on the toilet unassisted at age 90. How am I going to do that? So I was like, okay, the best way for me to do that is to maintain my muscle mass. And the best way for me to do that is to do some heavy lifting and to be able to do it deliberately and carefully and cautiously so that I can be the healthiest version of myself. And it completely transformed my body and it completely transformed how I thought of life and what's possible, when I am 90. So I think that that's such a key takeaway for people. It's like, don't just sit there and drift in your life. Decide, be deliberate, be conscious, because that is the best way that you can live your best life, irrespective of where you are on a reproductive journey.